FC24 is one of the most difficult games, especially when you go into champs and you're really struggling. You can get really stressed out and it's not nice. So today, I'm going to provide you some custom tactics that will really help you. I'm going to explain them in very big detail as well. So this might be a bit of a longer one. I really do hope you watch the entire video so we can get an understanding of this formation and how the tactics work together. Make sure you stay and watch all of the video if I were you. If you need cheap, fast and reliable FC24 coins, make sure to go to MMOEXP.com and use my code VIPER to get 5% off your order. So guys, first of all, we will get into the tactics and then I'll go over the team and what's important in each position. So it's the 4-3-2-1, and let me tell you something before we actually start diving into the tactics and instructions more specifically. I've been struggling a lot on this game as of late. And since I switched into these, I got a rank 1 first time. I was like 6-1, switched into these. You know, these are taken from a pro, but also altered to my own kind of level and where I want them. So this is kind of from text, but also my own twist on it and what works for me. Hopefully it will work for you as well, guys. As I said, I've been struggling a lot. Switching to these at like 6-1, I managed to go 19-1. First of all, guys, you're going to see that we've got Harry Kane up front, the new Harry Kane. Got a review on him on the channel, guys, if you want to go check that out. He's on Just Stay Forward. Now, this is more due to the fact he's a big man. He's just on Stay Forward, as I don't really want him getting in behind because of the way he plays. You could put him on Stay Central, but because of how good his passing is, I like him dropping a little bit deeper at times and kind of providing outlets for the two other players, which are Son and Hansen. Now, my left centre forward, or left winger, whatever you want to call him in this formation, so I'm getting behind and come back on defense. I'll explain that when we get to the fullbacks, but to come back on defense on one of your wide players here, or whatever you want to call them, second strikers, is very important. I've got Hansen, who is crucial to the team on Stay Central and Stay Forward. So you kind of work in here with Kane kind of drifting wherever he wants to because he's got good passing. And then you've got Hansen, who stays central and kind of picks up Kane's position. And Son, who comes back and defends, but also gets in behind. It really works well. It's essentially 3 different styles for each attacker, and it's really nice. As we move it into the midfield, guys, our CDM, which is actually a bit dangerous, but I like him because of how good he is on the ball. He's on stable while attacking and cover centre, and it is going to be Frankie de Jong. It's very important that you have someone here that's got 4-star at minimum, or 4-star weak foot at minimum, and you've got to make sure they're good on the dribbling. You need to be able to turn out of tight spaces very quickly on this game. De Jong is very good at doing that as our CDM. You know, he's a centre mid. He is the one that drops deeper and covers for the fullbacks when they do eventually go forward. We've got Adama Traore, who is our attacking central midfielder, who is on Just Get Forward. And Adama Traore is so good in this position, I can't explain it. He's so fast. He's so good at driving into spaces. I really recommend having someone like this in the midfield spot. Make sure as well, guys, you're going to see here that usually you have cover centre on your players here, but for me in this formation, the way I play with it, it's going to be cover wing on your 2 outside centre mids. Now, Adama's really good at doing this because, of course, he's kind of a fullback anyway, so it's really nice with him. He gets up and down really cleanly. And Jude Bellingham is kind of the absolute box-to-box. Now, you could put this one on stable while attacking as well, but I like him to kind of provide the box-to-box role. He's got Relentless Plus, so he's really good at getting up and down all game. Got Technical Plus, or not Technical Plus, but he's got Technical, which means he's allowed to kind of drift into like a cam kind of area and provide assists to the rest of the team as well, which is really clean. The midfield setup here, or the midfield makeup, is incredible. You know, it's got a mix of everything. It's got raw pace and strength. It's got incredible dribbling ability, and it's got incredible dribbling ability again here with Bellingham, but also the ability to go for 120 minutes with having like max stamina is really nice on Jude, and is very good for this formation. As we move on to the 2 fullbacks, guys, this is one that I've tried and tested quite a lot, and a lot of people like to have one on stable while attacking and one on just balanced. But for me personally, what I found to work really well to overload and dominate opponents is your better going forward fullback on joining the attack and overlap. And let me tell you something, get this Cancelo. He is the best fullback on the game for attacking because of Technical Plus. You know, it's a Trailblazer version. He's so good at getting forward. He can do Travellas as well. Got really good passing. He is literally probably the most important player in this team because of how he's able to get down the line and do the Technical Plus stuff. Into Hansen, who's also got technical, great Travellas. It works really well down this side. Now, of course, Cancelo can play left back as well, which is good, but I certainly would rather have him in the right back position where you can utilise the Travellas. And Zinchenko, who is just on balance and overlap. Now, of course, Cancelo is kind of going to push up close to Adama Traore. So imagine Cancelo is not in that position and closer to Adama. Zinchenko is going to be a bit further pushed forward, but not as much. Maybe like halfway between Ledley King and Bellingham. And it's going to create a free in defence. And when you're kind of sustaining attacks, it's going to be so many men forward. The only 2 players or 3 players you're going to have back are De Jong and your 2 centre-backs, or your central centre-mid and your 2 centre-halves. And it's really, really good for dominating games. Now, if you're in a tight game, it might be a case of changing this to stable on attacking on Zinchenko and just balanced on Cancelo, or however you want to set it up, basically. And what I would recommend is whoever's the more defensive-minded option via the instructions here. So Zinchenko, in my case, our left winger, Son, in this case, is going to come back on defense to support Zinchenko a little bit more, and you're going to kind of free up this right-hand side completely. And you're going to kind of set up with like an overload on the left-hand side, basically. You're going to completely disregard the right-hand side, let your best defender deal with that, and I've got that with Virgil van Dijk, of course. He is so good on this game that he essentially is like 3 centre-backs. He's that good. And it works really, really well in terms of dominating games and being on the front foot all the time. So here are the custom tactics, and they are very, very aggressive, which I think is important on this game, especially when you're playing somebody that also sets up aggressive. If you play anybody sweaty, they are going to be playing these kind of tactics where you get no time on the ball. Press after possession loss works really well with 71 depth, which they say they've nerfed, but they haven't really, unfortunately. So these 2 together, you know, the 71 depth gives you the auto offside trap and the kind of midfield press that you don't see if you drop it. I think it's below 70. Press after possession loss also works really well with that, right? So you've got your entire team pressing to get that ball back as a gegenpress here. 45 width is interesting because usually I wouldn't recommend this. I'd say have it higher, but I really do like 45 width. It's kind of my go-to now, so I'm going to stick with that. Of course, the depth we've already talked about and how OP it is. It's very nice to be on the front foot anyway in terms of defending, trying to win the ball back high up the pitch. I think is one of the best ways to score on this game. So that is why I've gone for the gegenpress on press after possession loss and the 71 depth. My favourite build-up play tactic is certainly fast build-up. Yes, it's aggressive. Yes, it means you have to pass well. Yes, it means you have to have good passes in your midfield. But it's so good for counter-attacking, which is all this game's about, man. It's about getting the ball into your forwards, looking for that extra pass, looking for the cutback, and putting the ball away as quick as you can. And you can really do this very, very well with this formation and the fast build-up with forward runs as well, which I never really liked. Not in previous years anyway. This year, I think forward runs is really good. Now, let me explain what it does. First of all, this is the way EA describe it. This tactic pushes your players forward deep into attacking areas, but if you lose possession of the ball, you could find yourself open to a counter-attack. So what's going to happen here, guys, is your team's going to be really pushed up when you're in that final third, and you should be able to find lots of quick passes in the final third around the box. It's really nice because the options kind of open up. You know, forward runs makes you think when you kind of get the ball back in transitions, they're just going to run forward. It's not how it works at all. It's almost like they sit really deep into the box, kind of susceptible to getting offside trapped. But because not a lot of people do that, not manually anyway, you're able to get really close to the box, look for the cutbacks. You've got lots of options. You know, you've got Son out wide, you've got Hansen out wide who comes a bit further inside, and you've got Kane being able to find the passes. That is why I think the team composition we've got here is perfect. I would recommend trying to build around that as well. But forward runs is great, mix of all of these things together as well. 45 width on the attacking side of things, similar to the defensive. It just works well for me, and it's a narrow formation anyway, kind of the 4-3-2-1. I really do like all of this put together. Players in the box I've always had on 6, very good for cutbacks and very good for finding that ball into the box, especially with, as I've told you, Cancelo being that aggressive attacking fullback with that technical. He's able to find a cutback really comfortably and a good cross into the box when need be as well. Have this on 6, see if you like it. Push it up to 7 if you think it's too little. If you think it's too much, down to 5 is absolutely fine. And corners and free kicks, guys, are entirely up to you. So then, guys, I did say I was going to explain to you the kind of team composition and why I think it's important. The first thing I want you to notice is everybody's got a playstyle plus. Now that doesn't mean everything, right? Because you've got Trickster plus on Hanson, which is poor. You've got Aerial, which isn't very good on Virgil. But other than that, all of these playstyle pluses are crucial. Quick Step works really well on Zinchenko for getting up and down. Technical, as I've explained, because this is our attacking fullback, is incredible on Cancelo. And as I said to you, he is probably the most crucial player in the team for getting up and down, scoring goals, Trivelas. You know, technical plus is incredible. He's got first touch as well, which means he can take the ball under a lot of pressure and turn quickly, which is brilliant. Cancelo and Zinchenko are very, very good, and I think Zinchenko is probably the best left back on the game personally. I would say that Cancelo is the best right back on the game for attacking purposes. As I said to you as well, Bellingham as that box to box is so good because he's got Relentless Plus. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of this card, but since I started playing this formation, I really did recognise how good he was because of the Relentless Plus, and he's got technical as well, which is brilliant. And then we've got De Jong, who is very, very deep lying and does come forward sometimes. Press proven's very nice on him. Tiki-taka is incredible. So is long ball pass. And De Jong's really good at sitting deep, picking out the good passes, and has really good tackling, actually. You know, he's got no defensive play styles, but if you actually look at his defending is really, really good. He's got great agility and balance as well, so he's kind of got that Kante jock in, which is brilliant as well. Something that I was really struggling with before I switched into this formation is I didn't have Hanson in my team. I've had her on my bench for ages, but I never actually used her. 5-star skills, if you know how to use them, are incredible. And Hanson is so, so good at kind of creating a bit of space and then going for that Trivela. Trivela is a very, very crucial part of this game right now, with a little nerve to finesse shots, even though they're still brilliant, which we'll get into shortly. I think the Trickster Plus on her is pointless, but outside of that, she's got great play styles. Maybe finesse shot silver isn't very good either, but technical, first touch, Trivela, and quick step. Quick step is a massive one, and she's really, really nice with that. Adama, who sits in our right centre mid spot, he's got high low work rates, bad passing, and a bad weak foot, but he's used to kind of track back with his strength and pace and just win the ball back. Or on the opposite side of that, he's there to just kind of drive into spaces with his pace on the counter attack and then find an easy pass and then find a good pass after that, right? Adama's very, very good for this formation in that right centre mid role. You don't really need the passing, man. This card is very much get forward with him, drive into spaces with his strength and pace, vice versa on the back end as well when you're defending. Get back with his pace, utilise his strength, so on and so forth. He's a very good break-up kind of player, even though you really wouldn't expect it. Kane is in the team for everything. Finishing, best on the game. Pace, not the best on the game, of course. Passing, incredible, best for a striker on the game. Dribbling, very good outside of agility and balance, and first touch plus, which kind of negates the entire dribbling stats. And great physicals as well, with great play styles. Incisive pass, long ball pass, absolutely brilliant. First touch plus as well is very good. It kind of negates his entire dribbling. He gets kind of like a dribbling boost up to 99 for a few seconds when you get that above his head. And Trivela is also amazing on him. I'm going to explain a little bit deeper with Harry Kane in a moment as well, what happens at half time in my games, and I would certainly follow that as well. Doesn't have to be these same players, but you know, getting this kind of similar would be quite important for this formation. And then Son, of course, 5-star weak foot, but I'm not going to have to explain it any further than he's got Finesse Plus, which is kind of giving you the ability to have everything you need in a team. You've got 5-star skills, you've got raw pace and strength, you've got great shooting ability, passing and physicals on Kane, and then Finesse Plus on Son. Now, at half-time, what ends up happening, I don't know, I'm going to show this. Let me go to the 4-3-2 one if I can find it. Bear with me a sec. Right, so at half-time of a game, guys, what I end up doing is I actually put Harry Kane down to this position here. And I bring off Adama for Leao quite a lot. And what that's going to do is give you a completely different dimension in game. Raw pace with Leao. Same as Aubameyang if you have him as well. Stick him up there to give you a completely different element up front and just running behind. Works really well. Kane's very good in this position. Exactly the same as Adama, bar the pace and a lot better passing. So you're completely changing up your team if you can kind of find this composition. And I really would recommend trying to get this kind of ability all across the pitch. I think it's so important on this game, guys. The composition of teams is a lot more important than the formation, and allowing your fullbacks to attack this year is also a lot more important than in previous years. So take this all on board. If you have any questions, make sure you leave them in the comment section. I will answer them for you. Guys, if you haven't enjoyed today's video, if you found it helpful, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell for some video. But guys, that's going to be it from me for now, so take care.